Oh God, no. Spirit. Mr. Jeff Spirit. Okay. You're talking to me, I'm talking to you. I got it. You know, one day, this very, very nasty dog bit my chihuahua. It was a pitbull, and I want that pitbull dead.
That I cannot do, Rodrigo.
Hello, sir. How are you doing today?
How are you? Good.
Very well.
I'm Gino.
Gino.
I'm looking for Louis.
Yes, yes. We spoke on the phone. My
okay,
boss
so
George
you're the one.
referred you as well.
Okay.
Yes.
That's fantastic. Yes.
Definitely.
I've known George for many years. I was the psychic at the police department with the city of Miami.
Sure.
As the psychic detective, and now I have my own agency.
Nice.
So I hear you guys are have quite a little situation going on here.
Yes, at the moment, yes.
Well, you want to show me the area that these cigars were last observed by you?
Absolutely. I'd be more than happy to.
Let's see it.
Sure. So this is the area of the cigars from prior for shipping. As you can see here, we have new inventory.
So you put the cigars here, then you ship them out from here.
Yes, sir.
And with that last shipment, how much money are we talking about?
About 30,000.
About $30,000.
Yes, sir.
So from our phone conversation,
Sure.
you have these cigars shipped out to several locations.
Yes.
And you work on consignment from the stores. So when they sell a cigar, that's where they give you the money at the end.
Absolutely,
So
yeah.
when we looked at your sheets and documentation, it shows that they were signed for it. That
Sure.
these cigars, they actually signed for in these stores.
Okay.
But yet the owners were telling you that they don't have any record and they don't see these cigars in their store.
That's a big problem.
Well, I want you to show me the exact cigar that we're talking about.
Absolutely.
I want to be able to smell it. I want to see if we can get some vibes from it.
Sure.
But first, I want to see if I can pick something up from this area here.
Absolutely.
Pick something up from here somehow, some way.
Sure.
Let me see.
More than happy to help. So these were the same exact cigars that were stolen.
This one right here.
Yes, sir.
So does this cigar have any unique aroma to it or smells when it's?
Yes,
when
for
it's
the
lit?
Habano shade,
yeah,
it gives
does have
off
a unique
a lot
smell.
of sweetness and richness. It's a
Okay.
medium body and strength and a very well-balanced cigar. It is totally Nicaraguan and with the wrapper Ecuadorian, at least aged for 1 year for balance and flavor.
So if I were to like smell the cigar being smoked, is there a unique smell to it when it's
Yes,
smoking?
the worse it smells, the better it tastes.
And this one, I guess, smells really bad because we're talking about a really good cigar here.
And age, that's what gives it that aroma.
Okay. And it's the wrapper. It's
The wrapper determines 80% of the
Nice to meet you.
flavor.
Ready to go?
Yes, nice to see you, bud.
Hey, how are you? I'm
How's it
Gino.
going, man? Rodrigo, nice to meet you.
Rodrigo.
Nice to meet you.
Good, good. So he does the shipments here?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
And what we were talking about, was he part of that shipment as well?
Yes.
Well, pleasure to meet you, Rodrigo. It's that name, and we have quite a character in our agency as well by the name of Rodrigo, but pleasure to meet you. And something about you, though, that is in my head, but we'll get to that a little later on there.
No
It's
worries.
certainly a pleasure to meet
Nice
you.
to meet you, man.
And he's a cigar expert as well?
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, fantastic. Well, you know, we're going to be talking to several employees and stuff here, so I'll definitely hook up with you a little bit later on in the week, and we'll sit down and have a conversation.
No problem.
Thank you.
Take care.
Pleasure to meet you, Rodrigo. How well do you know this Rodrigo guy?
Many years. He's an A1 employee here.
So when we conduct an investigation,
Sure.
we don't just do it on psychic readings. We're going to have to interview all the employees here.
Of course.
because everybody is a suspect.
I
Even you.
understand. Yeah, of course, I understand that completely. Yeah.
So, I have to make sure that you're not full of shit on the stuff
Absolutely,
that's
for
telling
sure.
me.
Yes, sir.
So I want to ask you some questions, and we'll start with you.
Sure.
And we'll see how much you actually know about cigars.
Definitely. Looking forward to it.
Okay, Louis.
Yes, sir.
I hate to do this to you, but what do we have here?
This is a 1926 Padron.
Okay, hold on a second here. Got another one for you, pal.
Sure. This is a Plasencia Alma de Campo.
Hang on. Got another one for you.
Sure. Tabernacle from Foundation Cigars.
So we got a little, okay. I'm gonna get something here that I'm pretty sure you are not going to be able to figure out.
Okay,
At all. Something totally different.
Sure, sure.
Out of the blue. And I'm not even gonna tell you what rack area, but it's not from around here.
Sure.
Here we go.
JFR Corojo wrapper.
Jesus. All right. You've been ruled out as a suspect. You'll be back this week to interview some of your employees.
Of course, of course. I nailed it.
You nailed it. Our first stop brings us to Calle Ocho and 15th Avenue. The problem is I can identify the smell. I don't know why the spirits brought me here, but they may have packaged these cigars differently. We're looking for a Corona-sized cigar. Rodrigo, why are you drinking a pink drink? Get a scotch, for God's sake. We're on Calle Ocho.
Mr. Jeff, this is not just a pink drink. This is piña colada, and it reminds me of the coast of Guatemala.
We
And it tastes
have
so
a
good.
reputation at Gotham Investigations. People come by here, they recognize me, they recognize you.
I have a reputation,
Gotta
too,
have a-
Mr. Jeff, and I am, I
It is
just
what
have
it is.
different tastes.
Well, I have
Different
a
strokes for
spirit.
different folks,
I have a spirit that's been trying to come into me. This is your chance, Rodrigo. I'm going to let him come into me, but you have to ask him questions related to this cigar. Yes, this is your chance. This is
Now?
what you're training for. This is what you're doing, Rodrigo.
Yes.
You have to ask the spirit questions.
Wow.
Keep it in your memory and tell me what the spirit is telling you regarding the cigar
Spirit's telling you
cases.
about the cases.
Investigative questions
Investigative.
related to the cigars.
Cigar.
And let's see if the guardian angel
Wow,
gives us
that's
a
a lot
clue.
of things to just memorize, Mr. Jeff. I just hope this doesn't happen anytime soon. Oh God, no. Spirit, Mr. Jeff Spirit. Okay, you're talking to me. I'm talking to you. I got it. One day this very, very nasty dog bit my Chihuahua. It was a people, and I want that people dead.
That I cannot do, Rodrigo.
What?
Rodrigo, I've known you for a couple of weeks now. When was the last time you invited me to your house for an empanada or even a tamale? My
You
wife
never really asked.
is the godmother to your only Chihuahua.
Well,
Let's be frank here, Rodrigo. You don't want my friendship.
Mr. Spirits, Jeff Spirits. I just didn't want to get in trouble because of my immigration status. It's very delicate.
Rodrigo, I get it. You're in paradise now.
Paradise, yes, but also paranoid.
You're in paradise.
and paranoid.
I'm teaching you a trade. Obama got rid of all the immigration laws.
It's not that
You're
bad.
safe here. You don't need my protection anymore.
Don't say that.
But yet, you come to me on a day. My daughter's making me spaghetti and a meatball.
Well,
And you ask for murder for money.
I just want that people dead. That's justice, you know, Mr. Just Spirit.
Rodrigo, it is not justice. Your chihuahua is still alive.
I know, but I hate that people.
Rodrigo, your chihuahua is still alive. If you would have come to me with friendship, with respect, you call me Mr. Jeff. You don't even call me. You don't even call me Gino, the psychic detective.
Oh, you never
But yet,
asked.
you come to me on a day my daughter's making spaghetti and meatballs. Then you want me to deliver this favor for you. Rodrigo,
Miss,
consider this.
Mr. Jeff Spirit, please be my friend, Gino.
Consider this a gift. On the day my daughter's making me a spaghetti and a meatball. But also, remember, one day, I, the Spirit, may call upon you to do a favor. But until then, consider this a gift on a day that my daughter's making me a spaghetti and a meatball. A ball. A ball.
Wow, that was intense. Mr. Jeff, you're back. I had a really interesting conversation with your spirit. It was mostly him.
What did we learn, Rodrigo? Where are the cigars? Can we find them here?
Good question you ask. I think we should try tomorrow. Have a drink. Cheers.
Cheers.
All right, Gino. George was right. You really are the best detective out here.
Well, I'm glad we had a positive outcome. But, you know, unfortunately, with every positive outcome comes sad news. And the employee that you trusted and loved so much, Rodrigo, the Rodrigo that works for you, not the one in our investigative agency,
Of course.
was actually in cahoots with the individuals at the cigar stores.
Wow.
As you know, are well aware.
Of course, yeah.
They were signing for the cigars, but then they were rebranding the cigars.
Oh,
So
wow.
they went into inventory of these stores,
Sure.
but under a different name.
That happens all the time, too.
And when I started getting the first vibes, I kind of had a little darkness from the guardian angels here.
Sure, sure.
And that was sensing that something is just not right. Negative energy here. The cigars were here.
Sure,
And then when I shook Rodrigo's hand, it was just spot on where I started having premonitions and visions. So as we investigated,
Sure.
we followed Rodrigo, as we did other employees that you had.
Of course.
And he would come in with the shipment of cigars, and we're like, this is odd. So we would go in and we wouldn't see the cigars. They would be lined up, then it would just be disappeared. But then the same cigars were coming out on display with the new label on. And we knew from what you explained, the smell, the taste, and everything else, that this is the cigar. It's just being rebranded.
Yeah.
And we would even ask the individuals in a couple of the stores, where are these cigars from? And they were kind of like dumb and ill-founded, making up something.
Yeah.
When I reached back out to you, you knew right away it was a phony. And you went to the store and said, this is our fucking cigar.
Absolutely,
And you
yeah.
nailed it.
For
So, we're here at Cuban Crafters, the best, I would say, cigar location in the city of Miami.
Thank you.
Far beats any of the locations on A Street. This is the hangout. This is the, I want to say the, like they have, Elvis called it the Memphis Mafia. We call it the MPD Mafia. Not that we're a mafia, but this is where all the policemen go to relieve their stress of a bad day and just relax and kick back with the boys.
Absolutely,
And kick
unwind
back.
with
So
us.
tell us a little bit about Cuban Crafters.
So we've been around for 17 years. We have 4 locations. This one, the Superstore. We have one in Wellington. We have one in the MIA airport, and the last one, Turks and Caicos. Yeah, so we have our own farm in Nicaragua, and that's where we grow our personal tobacco as well.
Okay. And tell me a little bit about the cigar you chose to smoke.
The cigar I'm smoking is a K. Dorsey Cuban cigar. I got very lucky from an individual that gifted it to me. And it's a very balanced, has a lot of sweetness, richness, a lot of flavor to it. And I love it. I give it a 5 out of 5.
So I'm a tourist. I'm coming to Cuban Crafters.
Sure.
I like a light cigar. What do you recommend? Why? And tell me the name, tell me the taste.
Okay, so 3 brands I'll go over. First, Oliva. I would direct you to the Oliva Reserve because it's a very light cigar with good flavor profile and a great price point, which everybody wants at the end of the day.
Okay. And I want a medium body cigar. Now what would you choose?
A medium body cigar. So I would go with the Romeo and Juliet 1875 Ecuadorian wrapper. It's right on the medium. It's a Habano wrapper as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
And a heavy cigar. I just want that taste.
Oh,
in me
perfect. That would be from Foundation, the company. Now, the series that I love that's a full body balanced cigar would be the Tabernacle.
The Tabernacle.
Yes, sir.
And why is that? Tell me a little bit about that.
Well, they've been aging it for about 6 years, so it has a lot of balance. It doesn't bother the gums or the, your palate. And it has for me as an individual, has a very nice dark cherry flavor profile that I come to love.
Okay. Now, one thing I did not forget, I try to explain that to the wife, but she doesn't buy it, that the more that cigar smells, the better the taste. Can you get that smell from like a low body or medium body cigar?
Great question. So if the cigar comes with cellophane, you will never get a smell, even if it's aged for 15 years. When you have cigars like this, you can get a good sense of the cigar. Now, with all that being said, the cigars that smell the worst taste the best. It's funny, but that's how it works.
So why do they wrap them in cellophane then?
Well, they wrap them in cellophane because you have a box of 25, right? And when they get mixed and matched together, the wrapper rips and then you can't sell it. So Cuba's the only one that doesn't do that. I don't know why, to be honest. But with that being said, everything in there that's in cellophane is to make sure it protects the cigar from ripping the wrapper.
Does it harm the taste at all?
Not at all. Cellophane is a plant-based material. Everybody thinks that's plastic, but it's not. It's a natural-based material. So it doesn't ruin the cigar, add any, burning effect to it, none whatsoever.
So when I buy my cigars, should I store them in my humidor with the plastic or take it off?
Great question. So I have 2 answers for you. If you're going to age it for 1 week, take off the cellophane so it can get more humidity. If it's a special cigar, like a Cuban, you want to keep it in the cellophane and age it for a minimum of 2 to 4 months.
Okay.
And the flavor changes just like how wine would.
And it's not going to damage my other cigars.
Not whatsoever.
It's plant-based inside.
Yes, and I like how you asked that as well, because if you have an artificial cigar mixed with 20 of these, all of these will smell like the artificial cigar. So you want to keep away the artificial from the natural tobacco in your humidor.
So tell me a little bit about the Miami brand, the Cuban Crafter brand.
The Cuban Crafter brand.
I'm here, I'm a tourist from out of town.
Sure.
What do you tell me?
Absolutely, I'm a
Which
direct
one do you give me?
Okay, so if you're looking for a light body, I would give you a Connecticut shade. It's creamy, sweet, very well balanced, and easy on the palate. They're all Cuban seeded, Ecuadorian wrapper, and aged for a minimum of 1 year. Even people that are novice smokers or aficionados come to love them and buy them consecutively.
And the name that they asked for that is?
Yes, so there's 2 different bundles. We call the house bundle, the Cuban seed Ecuadorian wrapper. And then there's a Nicaraguan bundle that's 55 for 25 cigars. And that is 100% Nicaraguan from seed, filler, binder, and wrapper.
So that's what you would recommend out of your brand to
Yes,
try.
if you're on the golf course, the Nicaraguan bundle. If it's the Cuban seed one, by your house, maybe with a drink or tea, whatever you like, absolutely.
So I hear a lot that cigars are pretty much like wine.
Yes.
You have a steak, you want a certain wine with it. If you have, say, lamb, you have a certain cigar with it.
Sure,
what do you
sure.
recommend if I'm sitting down, I have my big steak, my big potato, what cigar should I go with?
Well, if we're going with a more of a Habano cigar, since I have some rich and sweetness, I personally would go with a Woodford Reserve because it pairs very well in the flavor profiles.
Now you mentioned you smoke your cigars with cognac. Is it cognac?
Yes, Remy Martin. Yes, sir.
Remy Martin,
Remy
okay.
Martin. Yes, sir.
And I smoke my cigars with wine.
Yeah,
Is
that's
that
a great,
recommended, or is
yes,
that,
actually, a lot of people like to pair their cigars with Cabernet Sauvignon, which is my favorite red wine. Red wine is the best wine for aficionados to pair with a cigar, no matter what wrapper it is or strength.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, is there a certain technique to it? Do I dip my cigar in the wine?
Well, sometimes we dip
Or the
a little
cognac?
bit of the coffee in here so we can get the coffee taste, but I would never infuse them. What I would do is put this cigar in a humidor, get a shot glass halfway with Woodford Reserve, put it on the side, and after 3 months, the Woodford Reserve is going to dissolve into the tobacco. It's still going to be natural, but have that Woodford taste to it.
So when you have your cocktails, you just drink it normal, and you have your cigar, you enjoy,
Yes.
you have good conversations you, with good people.
Yes.
And Louis, it was a pleasure meeting you.
Likewise.
And now that I've gotten to know you,
Of course,
I've gotten to learn a
likewise.
lot about cigars.
Definitely.
And I definitely come back, and you're kind of like my cigar mentor / coach, and it's taken me to the next level of smoking cigars.
Well, it's all my pleasure.
Thank you.
Anytime.
And Gotham Investigations. Stay tuned for our next episode. We hope not only to educate you on investigations, but we hope to educate you on what we are investigating. Hit the like button if you like our show, and see you on our next episode.